So, hello, this is a quick 100% glitch tutorial. I'm gonna start with showing how to get the X-ray. I've skipped past the early game, since it's pretty much the same as any early power bombs route, except you don't get charged beam, you don't get charged missiles. And coming back from X-ray you need to farm health and super missiles to make sure you have at least full health and as many super missiles as you can have, at least 3 or more. So that should set you up for being able to do the fastest strategy coming back from getting X-ray. And it'll be safer going to X-ray as well if you make a mistake. So the first step to getting to X-ray will require boosting of waivers. And first of all you need to start running, and as soon as you get into the next room you want to jump as late as possible on the platform and do a mid-air morph ball before hitting the ceiling. That should boost you in morph ball form of Firefly and make you safely able to get to the end of the platform, and from there on you start boosting on waivers. So I'll show you how it's supposed to look, hopefully. So when you come into this room, you want to shoot as soon as possible and then jump and mid-air morph to raise that pillar, and also get inside the little hole, which makes it faster to get out. Otherwise this thing will be in this position and you'll have to shoot it to make it go up. So getting back from X-ray involves, there's two ways. The fastest way is to meet up with the waivers in the middle of the spikes, and that requires you to do 2 boosts of the spikes. That will take in total 120 energy, and the timing for that is easily done with counting the amount of times the background fades out and in. So what I do is I count the fade outs up to 5, and then as soon as it starts fading in again I run and jump. So I'll show you how that's done now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you take damage from the waiver and you run and you jump on top of the grabber thing. And that should hopefully make you able to get out of here safely. So the other way, if you don't have 135 health, or if you want to do it slightly safer, what you need to do is you wait for the first waiver to come to you, and you use that to boost off. It's slightly safer since you have a bit more margin for error. So you boost on that one, and then want to boost off that one, and then you do the same thing where you run to the grabber and jump. So I'll show you a backup as well if the damage boosts go wrong. So if you boost here and then you miss this boost, then you can run and you can land on this platform here. You can't, and then you boost when the waiver comes. And that should hopefully make you get out of here alive and with X-ray. And then it's just going back up the red tower here. And if you have enough energy, you can safely damage boosts here. You just need to make sure you have enough energy to get super drops from these idiots. And that you're not beeping, because beeping will screw up the sound cues you need for the out of bound parts. So you want to make sure you don't hit these crabs, and they will destroy you. Shoot that idiot. And here comes the next tricky part. So ultimately what we want to do is we want to use this door here to X-ray climb straight up here. The problem is this slope right above me. You can't get stuck in this door normally, because that means you're gonna hit this slope when you X-ray climb, so you gotta get stuck deep in it. And one way to do this is simply use the geemer in the next room and hit him as soon as, at the same time as you exit the room, hit a super into the wall so he falls down on top of you and makes you damage boost backwards, and then you get stuck in the door on the other side of the room. So I'm gonna try showing how that looks. It might take a few tries. I'm gonna post 2 links to videos from 2Cat as well, showing this in a bit more detail. So that was too late on the super. You can also use the X-ray scope to buffer this. I'm using the left geemer here as a visual cue for when to run. That was too early. And there's a video as well showing the position that the geemer needs to be when you X-ray buffer. So I'll link that as well. Early again. I usually get this somewhat fast, but it can be really dumb sometimes. It's gonna take you some practice to get. So that's how it's supposed to look. And then you get stuck in the door like this. You can easily see when it works, because you'll see Sam is taking damage and she'll be yellow for the door transition. So from here you disable morph ball, and then, well, you don't need to disable morph ball, but it's a good safety thing, unless you're very confident in your X-ray climbing. And I used to just safely climb up until this point, and from here you can do a quicker climb without risk of being pushed out. So when you see the minimap switch and you see the marked map block being the empty one like this, then you know you're up on top of the room. You can also jump and listen for the sound of some landing, so you know you're up. So from here on I'm gonna switch over to emulator to show in more detail how this all works. So here we are. We've just climbed up with X-ray, and this is how the room looks. So from here on we need to fall down quite a bit. So, and the important part here is that we fall straight down, aligned with the wall. but without actually hitting these door blocks below you. Because if you go too far to the left, you're gonna hit a door transition, and if you keep holding right, you're gonna hit a door transition. So the timing here is pretty tight for how to do it. And what I do is I just quickly count to 3, and for the first 2 counts I hold left, and for the last one I hold right. So I just do 1, 2, 3, and that usually puts me safely down here without hitting any bad blocks. Then you land here, you go right quick, then hold left, and you land here. From there you do a few jumps until you see yourself, then hold right until you see yourself on screen, and then you're gonna be here. You can align with the door if you want to be a bit more close to the edge of the platform. And from here on, make sure you have morph ball on. Go a bit left, and then you go morph, fall right, and you can align yourself with the door again, and then you need to fall past 1 copy again. So you go 1, 2, 3. And the same here, right, hold left, jump past this, hold right, go left, morph, all right, and here's where the difference starts. And the real tricky out of bounds movement starts as well. So what you want to do here, you want to be in morph ball, and then just hold left and keep holding left until you hear yourself bounce off the block, and then you need to release right away. It might be different timings on depending on your input lag and something that needs to be tested, but basically what I want to do is this: hold left. Oh, see, I was too early. Hold left and let go. When you hear yourself bounce, you land on this blue platform. So if you hold left too long, you're gonna keep going down and miss this platform. If you release it too early, you're gonna hit the door transition to the right of me, and that'll end your run. And from here, what you want to do is get up on this green thing here. So what I like to do is I do a spin jump and I count the spins, and on the 3rd spin I press aim up to a ledge grab on the top of it. So like this, 1, 2, 3, and that will usually safely land you on top of this, and then you press left quick until you hear yourself land again. Then you're. And from here on, you want to get to the next green platform. The problem is these door blocks, invalid, can be very bad, and you do not want to hit these. So a safe way to do this is that you jump straight up, mid-air morph, and then hold left, like this. So jump, morph, hold left, and then you land on top of this, and you want to go a little bit further until you fall down here. Stand up, X-ray for a few seconds, and then we want to exit the room using this block. But if we jump straight up, we're gonna end up in the wall, so we're gonna hit this right edge of it. So we need to jump and then hold right, like that. That'll make you fall down there, and you can exit, and the game is over. So I'm gonna show some things that can go wrong that's not obviously, obvious straight away. So what happens here if you hold right too much? You end up here, obviously not where you want to be. You can go back and retry it from here if you want, but it's a major time loss. And if you hold left for too long, you're gonna land on a bad transition and you're gonna die. So if you hold left just slightly too long, you're gonna land on this one. This won't immediately crash your game, and you might think you can go on from here, but this block will make you crash as soon as you try to exit the out of bounds area, and you'll just get stuck in the ceiling, and yeah, the run is over. So you gotta make sure you do not hit this block. On the other hand, if you fall down here and then accidentally press a bit right, you might land here. This is not an issue if you do. You can just go left a bit again and you'll fall down properly. And then you can just go where you need to be. And the same as here, when you fall down, if you hold right too early, you end up in the gauntlet, which isn't where you want to be. You can exit it like this, but you've lost all your time and it's not really where you want to be. I'll also show one backup. If you attempt this trick and you hold it for too long, you're gonna start falling down like this. This is one case where the run isn't over, because you can turn around, you can hold X-ray, you X-ray to the right, and then you hold up. And you keep X-raying and holding up until the screen turns blue. This is the old strat we used to do, and from here on do the same thing to get out. You fall down here, you morph, and easiest to just to go off here and then keep holding right. It'll place you in this tunnel and you can go left. And the planet's exploding, and you just power bomb yourself to the ship. So there's a few other things worth of noting here as well. So if you land here and then do this and accidentally land either here as a morph ball or on the other, and if you overshoot it and land on the other 93 block, as long as you land as a morph ball, these blocks won't freeze the game for you later on. It's only if you're standing up they do. So from here on you can actually jump yourself up safely. Let's see, it's hard to bomb jump on this emulator. Oh, there we go. And then you can land here. And from here on you can do the real X-ray, or if you land here of course you just need one bomb and you're up. So there's one last thing worth noting here. If you check the memory editor to the right, I've selected the memory address that needs to be changed for this to work. So if you accidentally X-ray while you're crouching here, you'll not trigger you won't trigger the escape, since the values kind of creep upwards and you need to be standing up for it to actually set that value. You can be crouching, I think, if you're on top of a block like that. Yeah, that works. Then both crouching and standing up works perfectly. But if you're here, you need to make sure you're standing up facing right. And if you just X-ray quickly, you'll see it won't work either. So you need to hold it for like 2-3 seconds maybe. And from here on, just jump and hold right. And exit. And that's it. You have won the game. And you've also saved the animals, of course. Since interestingly enough, the status of the animals and the status of the escape is set in the same memory byte, just different bit values. So by setting every bit in that flag, you make sure you both escape and save the animals. So that's pretty much it. I hope this clears up a few things about this, and I'll also add some links that further explain some things. So thank you for watching.